Hi, welcome to The Sacred Journey. The Sacred Journey is the program that reminds you that life is a wonderful adventure and each and every experience we have is a unique and perfect opportunity for learning. I'm Joyce St. Germaine, and tonight's program is about using the infinity symbol for healing and balance. Now, everyone knows what the infinity symbol is. It's a figure 8. We usually see the figure 8 when we think of the infinity sign as horizontal. When we think of the number 8, we think of vertical. Well, the infinity symbol can be used vertically, horizontally. It can be created three-dimensionally, and I'll be talking a little about that in just a moment. I first became more aware of the infinity symbol. We've all been exposed to it in some way, but I first became more aware and more interested when I was doing some of my advanced yoga training in energy medicine yoga. Lauren Walker and Donna Eden, had worked together with Lauren's knowledge of yoga and Donna's knowledge of energy healing. And they brought up the possibility of using figure 8s in different ways for energy medicine yoga. Well, I've been in the healing arts for about 40 years and I saw all these different applications. So I have been pursuing it a little bit more and deepening my knowledge and understanding and use of it. And I must say I use it every single day, usually several times a day. Now, one of the first ways I use it is if there is the need to balance energetically. And I'll give you one example. If you are starting a new job, moving into a new neighborhood, embarking upon a new relationship, wanting to deepen some of the connections you have with people, you can go into a meditative state, a receptive state. If you are sitting, imagine the other person or the other people also sitting. If you are standing, imagine them standing, or whether it's one or a group of people. And even if you don't yet know who they are because it's a new job you're about to start, you haven't met your colleagues and coworkers yet, but be at the same level. Fill yourself with light. We've talked about this on many shows. Focus on, you could start with the light that's always in the space around your heart. Focus on that light, imagine it and intend, it's all about intention, that it is filling you all the way to the left and right, front and back, top and bottom of your body, that it's filling all the molecules, all the cells, all the atoms, and all the spaces between, until you feel that you are so filled with love and light. You could call it the God light, the God essence, universal life force, whatever that is to you. Imagine that you are so filled that it then extends around you. And after that, you can, if you have the privacy to do this, make figure 8s with your hands from your heart to the heart of the new office you're going to the heart of a new colleague, a new relationship, a new friend, something that's a little strained, a relationship that's in conflict. I have even used it and suggested to people that if you're on a kind of a difficult phone call that's just one of those typical business calls, the cable company, the airlines company, and there's just this lack of understanding about what you mean and what they mean and what you would like and what they would like, you can have your phone, put it on speakerphone or have it, doesn't matter. You can do this with one hand. And all you're saying is, I offer my essence to you. I let you know who I am and what my intentions are. And in return, I receive who you are and what your intentions are. It is not about manipulation. It is about balance. When you think of an infinity sign, both sides are the same. Both sides, are the same. One is not bigger than the other. So what you're doing is you're extending and offering, and you're also receiving. So that is one way to use it for conflict. If you are witness to or a part of a family conflict, siblings are having a hard time getting along, you can fill yourself with love and light. Visualize the people that are in conflict sitting across from each other, and you can extend a figure 8 to each one of them. And then you literally can extend a figure 8 between the hearts of the people that are in conflict. Is it foolproof? Of course not. But it is certainly worth trying because it has the intention of healing and balance. So another way that you can use this, if you are not feeling well, or if you have an injury, this is the way that I use it many, many times, and I teach people how to use it. Let's say you have a left shoulder injury, but your right shoulder's fine. You overextended, you did whatever. And by the way, as always, none of this takes the place of common sense, okay, and sound medical advice. This is about energetics. So this is the shoulder that's wounded, a little bit weaker, not doing so well. This is the shoulder that's wonderful. I always like to do the light filling work before I do anything. Helps me to set the intentions. I visualize the infinity sign or a figure 8 between my shoulders. Your body has an amazing capacity to heal. Invite the right shoulder to send healing energy to the left shoulder. And then when it comes back, it takes this energy that has become blocked or stagnant, whatever the issue is, and it gets to recharge on the healthy side of the body. And your body's completely willing to do that. You can do that between the ears, you can do it between the eyes, you can do it between knees, you can do it between kidneys, ovaries. The no-brainer is anywhere that you're symmetrical and you have two of something, but that's not the only way to use it. Let's say you have an injured elbow, but your shoulder's fine, your wrist and hand are fine. You may take energy from a healthy joint and invite it, or ask it, I like invite, to send healing energy to the area of your body that could use a little help. Could be from the hand to the elbow or from the shoulder to the elbow. A rule of thumb, can be broken of course, is the closer you are to the chakras, the more powerful and the easier it is to transfer energy, but it doesn't mean without exception. So I would go to the shoulder to the elbow before I'd go to the hand to the elbow, unless there's some reason that it just makes more sense for you to use the hand or the wrist instead of the elbow. Usually joints are better to work with than just anywhere in the body, joints and organs. You can work with anything in the body, but these are a little easier. They're a little bit easier to visualize. They feel and seem a little bit more tangible. So that's a good way to bring healing that way. By the way, this works for animals. This works for babies and infants. You literally can either imagine, and I'll give you a couple ways of using this, imagine the energy going, if someone has some digestive issues, imagine energy going from one part of their body that is in good health and in good working order to the other. So you could imagine figure 8s like this. You can put your hands on someone with their permission or above someone, slightly above. And of course, if it's your own child, do the parental thing, but you can put your hands in 2 areas and imagine a figure 8 of energy moving around, bringing healing and balance everywhere. Same for animals. You can do the same thing. You can visualize the energy. I said earlier that you could do this for your heart to someone else's, but if you're not able to, you're in a meeting, you're at an interview, a job interview, it might not be well received if you sit there in the job interview and you start doing this. They might wonder what you're doing, but you can visualize it. And what you're doing is you're just saying, I let you know who I am. I offer my true essence to you. I receive yours in return. So you can visualize it happening. You may also use physical symbols. I have a quartz and I have a stone, each with the figure 8 or the infinity symbol. I love working with this quartz. I can actually hold it in my hands and I can feel the energy moving through it until I feel that I have absorbed or taken it in or received it into both hands. And then when I put it down, I really feel that I have this beautiful infinity sign of energy between my hands that can be as large or small as I need it to be, and then I can use it however I wish. I also sometimes charge them, and by the way, all stones and crystals get charged in sunlight. They need sunlight to be restored. Moonstone can be charged in moonlight, especially as the moon is becoming full. And this is regular stone, so of course it loves sunlight and moonlight. When I say regular stone, it's not the crystalline family. Sometimes I use these in conjunction with other things. I might use them, and I did not bring one over, but I might use it with rose quartz. Rose quartz is the medicine of unconditional love. So I have some rose quartz hearts just because the shape is intentionally loving, but any kind of shape would work. Or I use them with singing bowls sometimes. One way that I use them with singing bowls, and I'll first take the bowl that is tuned to the heart chakra. It is tuned to the energy of the heart. And I invite you now, take this in to your heart. Let it fill your heart, let it go up and down. In shamanism, we say, like most of the traditions and most of the practices and around the world that work with chakras, there's 7 major chakras. In shamanism, we don't go from the bottom of the spine to the top of the head. We say we have 3 sky chakras, we have 3 earth chakras that meet at the heart. So I always like to make sure the heart is balanced, and the heart is always so ready to energetically expand. So taking in the heart essence, I can hold my infinity sign over it. I can lay it inside and strike it or sing it. I'm setting the intention that the loving energies of the heart chakra are going into my crystal infinity. You can see it has a little hum or a buzz because of the extra object that's in there. This is an antique bowl. This one happens to be from Nepal, so I'm also honoring the sacredness of it, the craftspeople, what it took to bring it here, to make it, and all the intentions that were ever set. And I'll do this, and then I'll be able to use this knowing that it's infused with more energy than it was on its own, and how I use it's completely up to me. Another little aside, this is just a tiny little prayer. I don't want to call it a blanket, it's a little small. I'll say a prayer coaster. A friend of mine created this, and every single stitch, she put a prayer in it, and then she gifted me with it. So I always keep one of my bowls on it. I also sometimes keep my infinity symbols on it, knowing that there's such lovely and beautiful intention that was put in it. I have right here I have many singing bowls, as you know, but I have 2 right here that are one for the crown chakra, top of the head, one for the root chakra, base of the spine. I can put an infinity symbol, and by the way, quartz, transmitter, receiver, amplifier. That's why I use this so much. I can put it right in between, and I know you're not able to see this, but I have it in between the bowl for the root chakra, the bowl for the crown chakra. So my intention is that each one will bring its energy into the infinity sign and send it to the other and offer it to the other bowl. And I'll hold my intention as long as I'm able and as long as I hear the sound. Intentions can travel on sight or sound. In this case, they're traveling by sound. I might have a person who's come for some energy healing sitting between the 2. This is about the furthest balance as far as chakras go, the two furthest away from each other. A person could lie in the middle, an animal could lie in the middle. I could visualize these two chakras meeting at the heart, and then ask that the energy be transmitted to all the other chakras as needed. If you can think of an intention, it usually would be successful, or you wouldn't have been given the energetic transmission of that. You may also, since we're talking about singing bowls, some of them are marked, especially some of the antique ones, to have water in them. How will you know? Do you see this little ring here? And this is not a show about singing bowls. I might have already done one, and throughout the years, I've been doing the show since 1995. Anyway, if you see a ring etched in it like that, that means that you can put water in it up to that ring, and you can strike it or sing it. And then it is being infused with the sacredness. The singing bowl is from Tibet. It's an antique. And I just want to say, this was my second singing bowl. The first two that I got from esteemed teacher Richard Rudis, an energy healer, and sadly he passed away just a day or two ago. So I do this in honor of him. Then the water can be drank, or is it drunk? I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a letter about if it's drank or drunk. I was an art teacher, not an English teacher, a grammar teacher. So anyway, who knows? Whatever it is, you may ingest the water, or you may use it as a compress. You may put it, make a compress and put it wherever you could use some healing. This was my first singing bowl, also from Richard Rudis. I say that with such love in my heart. This was my first one because at the time I needed to think small for affordability, and I wanted to be able to take it hiking in different places like that. So this one is also from Tibet. The others that I played are from Nepal. And I just want to share about this. I first saw this in the 80s. Richard came to do a little workshop at my house on singing bowls. That was before most people had ever even heard of sound healing. And I think he's the one that coined the term sound bath. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. He came and did a little workshop here, and I purchased that first little bowl. He had this bowl, and I fell in love with the texture, the size, the shape, everything about it. And although I could strike it, I couldn't get it to sing. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, and I said, well, it's just not in alignment with me, and I gave it back. 25 years later, he came back and did another workshop, and he had this bowl with him again. I recognized it immediately. I picked it up, and it sang for me. So then I knew it was time to be the new caretaker. If you are outside, you can build an infinity sign with stones, sticks, found objects. You can etch it in dirt or sand. If you do it on the beach in sand, you can honor the impermanence of everything and let the waves kind of wash it away. It can be a family or a classroom activity about movement and balance. At some point, everything on this side visits this side, and they change places. The X is usually at the heart. Now you can visualize it back and forth. You can visualize it side to side, top to bottom, from the top of your head to the base of your spine, or even the soles of your feet. The energy centers go from the base of the spine to the top of the head, meets in the right where that X is. You can visualize one this way, one this way, one this way, one this way, and as many as you can imagine. so that it almost makes like a three-dimensional, a little bit like a sphere. The X is all cross at your heart. That is your place of centering. That is your place of balance. So you can visualize infinity signs. You know someone in the hospital and they're open to prayers of healing, intentions of healing, remote healing, well wishes. You can imagine figure eights or infinity signs helping them. You don't need to be a doctor, a medical professional to know what's going on. You could ask that their body bring itself back into balance. If you have a headache, you can make little figure eights. If you have a wound or a bruise right at that area, I know we talked about using the joints and the organs. It's not always necessary. You can just facilitate healing by making a little figure eight. If it's, let's say it's a burn and you don't want to touch it or it's uncomfortable to, make a little figure eight just above it. What you're doing is you're intending that the healthy skin and tissue and muscle and everything around it is sending healing to the parts that are a little diminished at that time. As I said, your body has an amazing ability and capacity for healing. So use this idea for conflicts, to prevent conflicts, to balance with people that are new in your life, locations that are new in your life. Maybe you're going to be moving. You've bought a house. You can actually visualize aligning with the energy of the house by making, filling with light, of course, and then making figure eights between you and the home to say, I'm honored to be your new caretaker. I usually avoid the word owner, your new caretaker, and I'd love to feel and know who you really are. Homes have wood, metal, stone, natural elements. They energetically are happy and willing to share that with you. Let's see, before we end, we have just a couple minutes left. I want to be sure that I've gone over all of the things I had intended to do. So just to review, you can visualize. It's always with intention. Visualize, create the energy energetically. Physical symbols, as I showed you, such as this, create them on the earth, in the air. Some of my yoga poses or asanas, like some of the standing poses, as I'm standing and reaching and then doing a forward fold, when I come up, and this is from my energy medicine yoga training, I might make figure eights in the air. So anywhere that you can add or infuse a little figure eight, a little infinity sign, is a bonus. And I think the possibilities are endless. So I hope you explore and play, have fun with it, experiment. If you have any questions or some great success stories, please reach out to me. Thanks for joining us on the Sacred Journey. We'll catch you next time.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoi, hoi, hoi!
your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.